Hi, welcome to Unplugged with Eraldo and Daryn.
We have a lot of amazing guests today, so let's get started. Joining us now, actor Michael To from Tribeca's hit film, Lucky Grandma. He's also on the NBC show Blind Spot. Michael has his own production company and is an award-winning filmmaker. Thanks for being on our show today, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm so excited to talk to you. Tell us a little bit about Lucky Grandma and your role as Little Handsome. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Well, you are handsome.
Yeah,
You're not
thank
little,
you,
but
thank
you
you.
are handsome.
Yes.
You are handsome.
Thank you. So it's about an 82-year-old ornery Chinese grandma in Chinatown who just lost her husband. She's left with nothing, so she kind of takes a little risk and then gets involved in this like Chinatown gangster stuff. And that's where I come in. I play one of the scary. Her main nemesis.
It's actually filmed in Chinatown, correct?
Yeah, New York Chinatown. It was. I mean,
Wow.
that's like it's literally like another lead character. I mean, Chinatown was. It's a character in itself, no doubt.
Wow.
Do you normally play like humoristic roles, or are you really serious? Because you being like a tough like gang guy doesn't really.
What are you saying?
Yeah, you're so nice. It seems, like you're just so sweet. I feel like I just want to buy you something.
You're so little handsome.
Yeah, you're so little handsome.
Good thing I'm already cast.
Yeah, thank God, thank God.
But it's a dramedy. So I actually play mix. I play the kind of more serious characters too, and then kind of like the joking. I played a crazy Japanese business guy in Unfinished Business with Dave Franco. So it's got a mix. Mix of stuff.
Do you prefer film or TV? Which one do you have a preference for?
I think I like film. TV's when you come in as a guest star, or kind of it's like I liken it to when you come in to someone's house and you're like visiting as a guest. You kind of come in, they've got their stuff going on. You come in and you visit for a little bit and you leave.
Right.
But with a film, no matter what your role is, it's just this one project. So to me, I think film is my preference.
So Lucky Grandma's in the Tribeca Film Festival. Tell us a little about that festival. I know it won an award, the AT&T Award, which is great and fantastic. What was it like being there? What was the energy? What was the vibe?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, this was my first time at the film festival. I mean, Tribeca, AT&T Tribeca. Lucky Grandma won the $1 million contest, for script contest. So right away they had a great start, and I mean there's so much energy being in the city and with Robert De Niro's film festival and all the famous stars and all that sort of thing, the red carpet, so much fun.
So I understand that you're not only an actor, but you're a financial planner as well, right? I mean,
okay.
How do you mix the both? I mean, how did that start? Were you a financial planner first, and then you evolved into an actor, or vice versa?
Sure.
How did that happen?
So I've done that for like 20 years, and it's when you've used one side of your brain for so long, you kind of need the other side. So the creative side, I've always had it. I just never. It was kind of hidden there for a little bit. And as an actor as a kid, and had to kind of do the kind of traditional route. But then after I got my my business established, then after a while I'm like, it's time to get that other side to blossom a little bit.
Man, you're a man of many hats. I really like this. And you have your own production company.
I do, yeah.
And so when did you start that, and what kind of projects do you want to get involved in? And
Sure. Well, partly as an actor, you're helping someone else tell their story.
Right.
And so from the production side as a producer, you can actually tell your own stories from my lens. And especially as an Asian American, most of the stuff that we don't really have our stories told as much as the stories that are out there. So being our own producer with my partner Taya Arboleta, we could kind of give those stories, get those stories to life. And right now we're working on a featured doc with this comedian Joe Wong, who's one of the most famous comedians in the world, but actually not that well known in the U.S. So it's a great story.
It sounds like to me like the Asian influence is really becoming into this country. Tell us a little bit more about why that is happening. Was it always happening? Was never paid attention to? What's making it be so in focus these days?
Yeah, so I mean, we went through like when I grew up, there was no Asians on TV. Asian Americans, I'm fourth generation American, and there was no Asians on TV. And I wouldn't feel people who looked like me on screen, or they're really stereotyped. And now things are finally starting to change. You had a great, amazing year in Hollywood this year. So many more projects that are showing characters who look like myself in nuanced roles, not just a stereotypical restaurant worker or gang guy. It's much more lead roles, which is great.
What type of roles do you normally go after?
I mean, I've done it. So this is my 10th year as an actor. So I've kind of gone. I started out doing all the stereotypical stuff, but and it's to get started fine, but as an actor now who's been in the business now, it's more about trying to get nuanced roles, people with characters with arc, characters who are not always just stereotypical characters that you really can dive deep into, that are not just surface characters. So it's been great to have that opportunity.
That's
So
awesome.
I know you're a husband and you're a father of 3 daughters.
Good for
How
you.
challenging is that? Tell us.
I mean,
That's
3
gotta
daughters.
be the hardest job. I know that.
That is tough. I mean, my wife, my 3 daughters, my grandmother lives with me. She has she has a female caretaker, so I'm definitely outnumbered. I would get a male dog, but I'm allergic.
Male cat. The estrogen is alive and well in there.
I need male fish. That's what I
Yes,
need.
you do. How do you balance all of that, though?
I've always been like that where it has. I've always needed things to do. Like I'm not a person who can kind of stay quiet. So it's always like my mind always needs to be running. And if I wasn't, I'd be do something. I'd be I don't know, building something. I don't know.
something, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is why New York City is good for
That's
you.
why New York's
Yeah.
great,
You
right?
You never sleep and you're always
right.
moving on.
Do you have any projects coming up that we should know about?
Yeah. So I after this, I'm going to be heading back to Boston. I'm shooting a TV show with Chris Evans, who just came out off of Rancic. It's called Defending Jacob. And then in a few weeks, I'm in a movie called Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
I am
Wow.
so excited
Yeah,
to see
I'm
all
so
that. I
excited,
want to see
too.
Lucky Grandma. And do you get your butt kicked?
No, I kick ass.
You kick ass. That's what we need, right?
I'm the one doing all that stuff,
Well, Michael, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much
us
for
today. I
being
really
here.
appreciate it.
Good
So
luck to you.
excited to see you.
Yeah.
Still to come, we have actress Carlease Burke from the TV shows Crowded, Ballers, and Switched at Birth. Carlease also has been in hit films Jumanji and The Backup Plan.
Stay with us. When we come back, Carlease will tell us about her new horror film, Child's Play.
Welcome back. Joining us via Skype from Los Angeles is talented actress Carlease Burke. She's been in many great TV shows, including Shameless and The Middle.
Carlease's new project is Child's Play, a remake of the 1988 hit horror film. Carlease, we are thrilled to have you with us.
Hey, Carlease.
I'm thrilled to be with you.
Oh, so let's talk about this Child's Play. I mean, this is a scary project. You have to admit that, right?
Yeah, and I love every minute of it.
Well, please tell us a little bit more about it then.
We shot in Vancouver, Canada. It was just an amazing experience. I loved everyone that I worked with, the director, Lars Klevberg. The producers are amazing. My co-stars, I play Daryn, who's a neighbor in the building where most of the action takes place. And there are more children in this version than in the 1988 version, but there is an Andy, and Andy has a mom, and there's the detective Mike. And it's just, I can't wait. I cannot wait for people to see the whole film, but my work in it, especially.
You know, you're so nice, you're so smiley. This is making me more terrified for you being in a horror film. I wanted you to be mean, you know what I mean? But now I have to see it and I'm equally terrified. Can you tell me what it's like acting in a horror film as opposed to anything else? You know, nothing else you seem to do seems as horrific as Child's Play.
That's true. I just have to say, though, there were elements that were funny. Like during shooting, there were moments when we were actually laughing at things that we were doing, maybe some of the things that we were saying, because you know how films are. They're out of context. They're out of order. Sometimes you're acting with Chucky or in a scene with Chucky and he's not really there. So you have to bring on the terror and the emotion that you need, maybe without your scene partner there. So it was an amazing. I did stretch myself as an actor, meaning I did do some things that I've never done before as an actor that I can't share with you at the moment. But you will see that when you see the film.
There's that smile.
Well, Carlease, you know, I've looked at a lot of your videos. You've done everything from comedy to drama to improv to theater. I mean, you've done the whole 9 yards. what's challenging more for you? Like the drama thing, the comedy thing? Is it just, I mean, I'm sure they're all challenging, but they have to be approached separately, right? Am I anywhere near what I'm saying, or? Yes,
you
right?
are. They are very, very different. I love all genres. I'll tell you what I find the most challenging. Even though I love drama and I'm good at it, I cannot cry on cue. Like there are actors that you can just go boo and they just start bawling. I mean, real tears. You see their eyes fill up and the tears just flow. I've never been able to do that in an audition setting or in a fake environment because there's so much going on around you. However, if I were cast in a role and the scene was happening and it was really the actor was giving me something, we were all in costume, the set, it could happen because then it becomes real for me.
I just think about waking up at 6 a.m. and my alarm clock, and I can start crying on cue just from that alone, Carlease. You've worked with some extremely notable actors, including Mark Hamill, we all know as Luke Skywalker. Tell us what it's like working with him and other great actors like that.
I hate to burst your bubble, Daryn.
No!
I hate to burst your bubble. I believe, I could be wrong, but Mark Hamill was probably the last person to be cast because he does the voice of Chucky. So the voice is, or his voice is laid down after everything is done. After all the principal photography is finished, it's been cut, it's the final cut, and this is what I'm thinking happens. Then he goes into the studio and he lays down his tracks for Chucky.
Wow.
So he's not in Vancouver with us at all.
Right.
And
Wow.
and like I said earlier, oh, y'all look so sad. To have his name in the same project that I'm in.
So, Carlease, I understand you grew up in Queens, and
Yes.
you have a degree in pre-law.
I have
So
a bachelor's.
where did the fork in the road come when you had to say, you know, heck with the law, I'm going with the acting? How did that come about?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I never really wanted to be a lawyer, but my parents didn't want me to go into acting. I came out of the womb wanting to act. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here on earth. This is my ministry. This is what I'm supposed to do. But my parents did not want that path for me. So they tried in numerous ways throughout my life to distract me from it. I'm very fortunate that I did go to college and that I have a degree, but they would not let me major in theater. I wanted to go to high school of performing arts. They were like, nope, you're not doing it. And when you go to college, we are not paying for you to learn to sing and dance. So I decided I needed to do something else to get my degree. And every semester I would take an acting class or a music class or a dance class. And my mother wanted me to be a teacher. And I didn't want to be a teacher. So at first I was an English major, and I've always been interested in law. And so I became a pre-law major. And then when I graduated, I realized this is not what I want to do. And I don't want to waste my time, my talent, or my parents' money to go to law school. And I was close. I was like this close going into Emory University. But I said, no, that's not my passion. That's not my dream. That's not what I want for my life. So.
Well, you're a true testament to A, not listening to your parents, but B, following your heart and your dreams. Carlease,
Yes.
thank you so much
Bye,
for joining us today.
Carlease.
So excited to see Child's Play.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Still to come, we have ToyMakerz star David Ankin to talk to us about crafting one-of-a-kind custom cars.
We will be right back. Stick around.
Welcome back. Joining us via Skype from South Carolina is the star of A&E Network and History Channel's ToyMakerz, David Ankin.
David, I love the show, and I love how you give car lovers the front row seat to the incredible building process behind those powerful and unique machines. We're glad to have you on Skype.
How you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for being here.
So listen,
Doing great.
Good. So let's go back a little bit. What was the first car you ever built? Tell us about that experience.
You know what? Way back in the day, you were young. I built a little Mach 1, a little 70 Mach 1, and had no money. I think I paid $150 for it.
It's kind of ironic that your whole life is surrounded by cars and you're in a car talking to us. Did you set that up? It seems too perfect.
Yeah, I'll tell you, not the most optimum setup we've ever done, but we are in New York and just met with a network and headed to the airport now. So glad I could at least call in.
So David, how did you get started with the business? I'm sure that you didn't wake up one morning and say, I want to be in show and I want to talk about cars. I mean, how did that evolve? How did that come about?
Honestly, I don't think I ever wanted to do television. It just sort of evolved into it. We built, toys my whole life. So then over the years, you get browbeat by doing other people's shows or knowing people that have shows. And never really wanted to do a show, and then ended up talking to producers, and next thing you know, get beat up, and here I am on a show. So,
well, that's a good origin story. Your show was wildly successful. What kind of celebrities have you had on that show? I know tons of people.
Been very, very fortunate. We did Richard Petty this year, had Sarah Edwards from the Queen of Diamonds, a 300-mile-an-hour. Beautiful little blonde that does drag racing, and just finished off with Dean Cain. So Dean Cain was a big deal for us this year. He played Superman, of course, good friend of mine. And I think the very first show they ever pitched to me, he was supposed to be my co-host. So it was nice to have him on my show.
So David, I understand that your father was a big influence in your career of car building. And I understand that your son has also taken an interest as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my grandfather was into cars. He worked for Packard and Studebaker. My father was a true gearhead and to this day still fabricates and builds. I'm fortunate enough to do the same thing, and my son's coming right up in my footsteps. I'm very fortunate.
Little birdie told me that you used to be a stuntman for Batman, and I gotta know how you moved from that to in the car world on TV. What was it like being a stuntman too?
I got old. I don't heal well anymore. When you do stunts, it's very. You don't work all the time. You might work for a month. You might work for 3 months. You might not work for a year. I did a lot of theme park stuff. I really liked it. But as I got older, I really enjoyed the building of the cars and driving the stuff that you see today, and that makes it nice. I love the OEM cars, the Camaros, Corvettes, Mustangs, but anytime you can go build a one-off anything and be a little different than everybody else, that's what I love to do.
So David, who or what do you give credit to for the success of the show?
You know what? I got a team of people that's amazing, absolutely amazing. I love the network we're on. I got a great team in the shop. That's what everybody sees. But realistically, it's the 30 or 40 people you never see. And it could be my accountant, Mindy, it could be my business partner, Dave. I suck at business, so he's really good at business. I build cars, he does business. But then you get the sound guys, the camera guys, the storyboarders, the team of people it takes to have a successful TV show is amazing, and I'm humbled to be a part of it.
Amen to that.
Yes.
I got to ask, what's been your favorite car to work on of all time?
Honestly, I'm in the middle of building it right now for season 4. Season 4 finale car is absolutely amazing. Will arguably be one of the faster street cars on the planet, and can't wait to strap my butt in it and take it for a ride.
Wow.
Oh, David, well, unfortunately, we are out of time, but I just wanted to thank you so much for being on the show and for sharing your insight into your show. Good luck to your show, and looking forward to seeing more episodes of it.
Absolutely.
Man, thank you guys so very much, and thanks for having me on the show in such a mess today.
All right. Okay, when we return, we will have TV celebrity Bill Rancic to talk to us about his new project, Next Big Idea, which helps people dealing with cancer.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are back. When entertainment journalist Giuliana Rancic was diagnosed with cancer, her husband, Bill Rancic, former winner of The Apprentice, took the title of caregiver in addition to his role as husband. The experience prompted Bill to join an effort that's close to his heart, a search for the next big idea to help people with cancer.
Joining us now is Bill, along with Mark Reisenauer from Estella's Oncology, who helped inspire the program following his own father's battle with head and neck cancer. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You're doing wonderful work.
Well, thank you, Eraldo and Daryn, for having us on your show. We're thrilled to be here today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bill, tell us what it was like when Giuliana was diagnosed.
Well, you know, I think whenever you hear the words you have cancer, it's a devastating day. And with Giuliana, it was no different. She was 34 years old. She had no history of breast cancer. And when the doctors told us she had cancer, we were shocked. It literally brought us to our knees. But from that day on, we vowed that we were going to use our platform to help other people going through cancer. And we've tried to do that every single day.
So Bill, tell us what are the challenges of experiencing cancer?
Well, there are so many different challenges that cancer patients and caregivers go through on a daily basis. And, you know, one in particular for Giuliana and myself, we're waiting for the test results. You know, sometimes you'd wait 6, 7, 8 days for the results, and the stress and the anxiety that you would go through waiting for the phone to ring or checking your email were devastating. But for others, it's access to information. Some it's as simple as getting to and from treatment and having transportation. So the challenges are vast and they vary from patient to patient.
Bill, tell us a little bit about your involvement with the program.
Well, I'm here on behalf of Estella's Oncology, and today we're calling for submissions for the C3 Prize, which stands for Changing Cancer Care. And we're looking for ideas that are non-treatment options to help improve lives of cancer patients and their caregivers. And we're going to be awarding up to $200,000 in grant money. No idea is too big or too small. You don't have to be a PhD or an MD or an entrepreneur to be a part of this. We want to hear your idea, and we want you to go to c3prize.com and submit.
So Mark, what is the focus for the program this year?
We're in the 4th year of the C3 Prize, and the focus this year is really threefold. We're looking for great ideas to address challenges in these categories. The first is the cancer journey. These are the everyday obstacles that patients and their caregivers face. Could be something as simple as trying to coordinate all of your appointments with all of your physicians or transportation to the clinic. The second category is cancer disparities, or what is the unequal access to cancer care, which could be based on where you live. And then the third category is survivorship. And as patients are living longer, which is great, unfortunately it brings some new challenges, emotional challenges, mobility challenges, etc. So what we're looking for are ideas to help address challenges in these three categories. And again, as Bill said, no idea is too big or too small.
So Mark, who can apply and how can someone find out more about the program? I'm sure there's tons of people that want to know.
The beauty is we've made this very simple. Anybody can apply to the C3 Prize. You don't have to have a business. You don't have to have a fully formed idea. What we're looking for is the idea and what you think the impact will be. It's as simple as going to c3prize.com. It's the letter C, the number 3, prize.com. We ask that you get your entries in by July 15th. And again, we're giving away up to $200,000 in grant money for your ideas.
Thank you, Bill and Mark, for sharing your story.
Thanks, Eraldo and Daryn. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And thanks again to all of our guests and all of you at home for watching.
And remember, let's continue our conversation on social media. We look forward to hearing from you. Be sure to share with us topics and guests you would like to see on the show, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
You got it.
You got it.
Preceding was sponsored by